On our previous episode, I talked about taking the business of film more seriously and collaborating with other people who have the skill set that complement your skill set as a filmmaker. After that episode, our podcast manager said to me, easier said than done. So I said, well, why don't you come on and be a guest on the show and let's have that conversation so that other filmmakers can understand it. And that's what today's episode is all about. If you want to be a successful indie filmmaker, you need to know a lot about not just the production of movies, but the business. We are going to tell you the truth and reality of what really happens in the indie film business. All right. Welcome, Ryan Tillotson. He is a filmmaker, an independent filmmaker, and he's also the manager of this podcast who I've been working with to put together podcasts, and he's very good at that. So thank you, Ryan, for all your help and assistance in doing that.
Jeff.
But also, Ryan and I met a few years ago because he found me on the internet, as a lot of people do, because I do consulting for independent filmmakers, primarily about finance and distribution and about, other elements of filmmaking. And Ryan booked an appointment, called me up and said, okay, Jeff, I'm making this film and I have a bunch of questions for you. So we decided that it would be a good idea maybe to do a podcast together. Not this podcast. We did another one a couple of years ago.
We recorded like a 2-hour-long conversation
Correct.
In San Diego.
Correct. And you came
I still
down.
have it.
Yeah. No, I have it too. So it was basically, I made a deal with Ryan. I said, okay, I'll answer all of your questions, but I want it recorded professionally. And you came down with your crew, your two guys, and we set up in that boardroom and had a really nice conversation about indie filmmaking. Yeah. I was doing the previous episode about taking the business side of the film business more seriously because it's called the film business. And Ryan is a filmmaker. The episode ended and Ryan immediately said to me, easier said than done. Like, how many people, like, why don't you just say, what did you say to me?
It's just not the type of people to, go to film school to want to create a business. So it's hard and I think that most of the filmmakers want to do it kind of on their own. They want to be like, feel like they have the full creative control kind of thing, be the auteur or whatever. And so it's hard. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's hard to convince that mindset to think like a business.
Okay, so listen to the words you just said. Okay. So I like this conversation, Ryan, and I'm not going to pick on you too much because I like you a lot too. But you represent the independent filmmaker out there. I mean, you are an independent filmmaker. You recently made an indie film, so it's not like you're talking theoretical. You've been there. You got your hands dirty. You know about finance. You know about production. I mean, you haven't dealt with the distribution side as much yet, but that's coming. All right, but you're the real deal.
Yeah.
More so than a lot of people who are still thinking of making a film. So it's good to talk to you because you've been there, done that. All right.
Yeah.
Now look at the words you just said. You said to be an auteur, most people don't want to give up. And I was going to add the word, I was hoping you would say control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you said artistic. Artistic. All right. I'm not saying that a filmmaker should give up artistic control. If anything, I'm saying they should keep it. The director should have, and producer, the filmmaker, or whoever that might be, maybe some people wear two hats, producer, director, okay, should always keep creative control. Why? Because they know how to make good art. You want those people to have creative control.
Totally. But what I'm saying, I guess, is that you're suggesting, adding more people, new people to the team, whereas don't you think that they want to learn how to do it themselves?
No, I do not think that. That is what I called the disconnect. I've yet to find a filmmaker who's interested and excited about the business side. When I say a filmmaker, I'm talking a good artist. I've yet to find a really passionate, good artist who is also super passionate about the business side. Like, show me somebody who loves doing the creative, who also loves doing spreadsheets. You're not going to find that. These are different paths. They're different mindsets. They're totally different skill sets.
Yeah.
That's the disconnect. Have you met people like that who just love the producing side and the artistic side?
I don't know.
I would say, not to jump on you, but I'd say it's a very, very, very short list. And I would say I'm probably on that list.
Yeah.
Okay. I get just as excited about doing a film schedule as I do about, shooting a scene and doing a distribution contract. They're all interesting because of my background.
Yeah.
All right. So to kind of the artistic side is newer to me because I didn't go to film school. I went to law school, right? So I'm always been excited about the business side, and the artistic side is fun because it's creative and I like to be creative. But it's very rare. Like most filmmakers that I have met, I'm going to say 99.9% of them only want to be the artist. And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that's wrong. As a matter of fact, I'm actually encouraging that. I'm encouraging artists to be good artists and focus on it.
Yeah. I mean, I am the opposite. I went to film school because I wanted to make film. And then I have, in the process of, okay, like, let's finally put together money and make a film, learned that I need to know this other side,
But do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy it? Do you guys excited about going into an investor presentation as you do about going onto set?
No.
I do.
No, I don't at all.
I find the investor presentation far more challenging than making the movie.
What excites me about learning this is that I will be able to continue doing it. That now I see a path to a whole new career that I didn't really know existed. Before I was just like, hope to make something good and hope something happens, and now it's like, oh, I could see how to actually get this out on my own now.
You see the steps that have to be taken in order for you to get from point A to point B.
Which is all missed in film school, or at least in my film school.
Most film schools.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a film school yet that teaches that path yet.
And I wish they did.
Okay, but let me ask you something. If you and I were becoming friendly here, and it's a good relationship, and I see that you are super creative and very artistic.
Yeah.
What if I said to you, hey, Ryan, I got an idea. You focus on the art. You make the great movies. You focus on directing and being on set and just making that great product. Let me take care of the rest.
Yeah.
Let me take care of the finance, the distribution, all the business stuff, because we need you to focus on the art.
Yeah.
What would you say? Sorry, I want to do everything?
No, I would be pretty relieved that there's someone willing to help me, but I would be concerned, like, okay, what is our split? We
come up with a fair deal. Maybe 50-50. It's a 50-50
okay.
split.
All right.
We're going to become what we call a team. Mm-hmm. All right?
Yeah.
You're going to do what you do really well, and you're going to get to focus on it. And then I'm going to do what I do really well, and I get to focus on it. And now both of us aren't spread too thin.
Yeah.
We'd be a good team. Wouldn't that make sense?
No, it'd be great. But do you think that everyone would be into that split? Like, I do understand.
Don't get hung up on the deal. What if I say to you, you take 90%, I'll take 10%? Would that make you feel better?
I mean,
it's not about the deal. I'm saying if the pie is big enough, who cares? Like the split.
Totally.
Let's just get a big pie. Let's figure out how to make the pie bigger, okay? Don't worry about how to split this little tiny pie. Let's figure out how to make this pie this big, and then the splits are all going to work out fine.
Yeah. How big of a movie are we making?
How big do you want to make? You want to make a big movie. Let's have a strategy, okay? We're going to start small. We're going to grow. We're going to build audience. We're going to do this. This is a strategy. What I'm saying to you is, wouldn't it be a luxury to just be able to focus on the art?
Huge.
Yeah. And know that somebody is covering you and you trust them, and their skill set totally complements your skill set in terms of doing the business. And they don't even want to do the art, okay? Like if you said to them, hey, why don't you come on and direct, not necessarily me, all right, but some other business major, right? They said, what are you, crazy? First of all, I don't know how to do it. Secondly, even if I did know how to do it, I don't want to do it. I like doing business proposals. I like doing investor presentations. I like doing distribution contracts. I don't want to direct a movie. It's not in. I want you to do the directing.
Okay. I mean, there's so many thoughts going through my head right now, but
you represent the indie filmmaker. You need to share this with the audience.
So we just shot our movie, and we're currently editing it, and I want to be working on the next one already, and we've got a bunch of different scripts that we're looking at, and the plan was always that we're a team of 3, all went to film school together.
Could I just interrupt? Are you 3 filmmakers?
Yeah.
So like director, cinematographer, actor, I don't know, like, are they all artists? Are any of them business people? You said you went to film school together.
I'm the only one, and I'm only became a business person, when I started my business in 2018. And I've, learned a lot about business and things like that. But they are not.
They're artists.
They both write together, and they both directed this feature that we made. The plan was that I would get to direct the next one, but they told me that they don't think that they can produce. And I was like, you have to.
Well, I would add,
I'll show you.
Hold on.
I'll show
I
you.
would add one other component to they don't think that, you said they don't think that they can produce.
What is it?
I would say they don't want to produce.
I know, and that makes me
even
angry.
Even if they could, they
That
don't
makes me
want.
so
They
angry.
don't want to, because artists don't want to do that stuff.
But if we want to have a successful company and be able to do this multiple times a year, like I have a vision where we're making multiple films a year under this company.
So what if I said to you, I can connect you with, like, because I know the business school students. I don't, but I'm hypothetically.
Okay.
I can connect you with like 3 really, really sharp finance, marketing people who could do all those functions for you. And then you guys can have a little collaboration, this little team. You'll work out a fair deal. They'll take care of all that stuff. And then the 3 of you can be artists.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds great. Right now, the first thing that goes through my brain is like, okay, that requires to have to pay somebody, which is something that we're not, not doing. The three of us are not getting paid.
Why am I shaking? I'm looking at the camera and I'm shaking my head. Why am I shaking my head? You are thinking and talking just like artists do. Can you please get over that?
What am I doing wrong?
Because guess what they're thinking? They're thinking that we're going to do all the business stuff and we're going to have to pay these artists to sit there in some dark room and write stuff and do all and create and talk. They're thinking the same thing. Everybody's actually aligned. Everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
All right? Don't think you're hiring these people. You're not hiring them.
Okay.
They're entrepreneurs. They want the same opportunity you do. They all want to be in business. Think of it, you're a group of people who want to be in a successful business. You all decide collectively that that business is going to be the business of film.
Yeah.
You're going to be making good entertainment, all right? TV shows and films, all right? So you're all in it together. You're all going to work equally hard, and you're going to all equally reap the benefits, if there are, the rewards. All right. So look at it that way. You're not hiring them. They're not working for you. They're your partners. This is a collaboration. It's equal.
I mean, that sounds great.
Can you think of it that way?
I'll try.
Okay.
It's just, I feel like it's been so hard to get anything made, and just to, I mean, every step of the way, like in the process of making it, it's like negotiating different prices and all these things.
Because of the way the deals, like, look at, if you said to me, and the audience is getting to know me a little bit better, all right? And I don't know how well you know me, but if you said to me, hey, Jeff, can you help me make a film?
Yeah.
All right. Like, can you do the producing? You be the producer. You do all the business stuff. The first thing that would come to mind in my mind is I'd rather hire you just to direct and I own the film. I'm not interested in you owning the film. I want to own the film because I'm very entrepreneurial. And if to me, the heavy lifting is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
What you're going to do is the easy stuff.
Right.
There's a million people I can hire to do your job. That's the way I think as a producer. Now you're thinking the exact opposite. You're thinking, hey, I'm the filmmaker. I'm doing the heavy lifting. This guy's the producer. Why should he share in the profits or be a partner with me? I'd rather pay him. I'm thinking the same thing. We're just on opposite sides of the equation here. So then we say, okay, I want to own it. No, you say, I want to own it. So how about we equally own it? We jointly own it and we trust each other and we both put in the same amount of effort and hard work, and hopefully we can collaborate and make something come of it.
I mean, that sounds great. And maybe that's possible. It's hard, these 3 people, or these 2 other people, I'm one of the 3, that I'm working with, we've known each other since 2008.
I know, but you all went to film school
Yeah,
together. Did any of you walk across campus to the business school?
Never.
No, of course you didn't, because you only collaborated with each other. Artists collaborating with artists. None of you even have the skill set or desire to do the other stuff.
Okay, so what's the strategy to find these people and build a rapport? Because you have to have this trusting rapport before you can just...
Let's do the metaphorical strategy.
Yeah.
Is leave the film school for a minute, walk across campus to the business school.
I mean, I do like that.
Network with people who have a skill set that you don't have, that you need. That's the metaphorical concept, okay? Now, when you're a student in film school, you can physically actually do that.
Right.
And I tell my students to do that.
Yeah.
Like, the film school's here, the business school's here. It's a 200-yard walk across the courtyard and walk in and introduce yourself. Go to a professor, introduce yourself, go to the cafeteria, wherever these marketing students hang out. Just network a little bit the way you do in the film school, okay? Once you leave film school, that environment in the university, now you got to go network. I mean, if you needed a marketing person, how would you find one?
I mean, I'd probably do a job post.
I'm not talking about hiring, okay?
You asked me.
No, I said, sorry, if you need somebody to do some marketing services for you, all right? You want to market your business.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go out to the world and you want to do beyond what you do for yourself. You want to do it on a sort of different, bigger scale maybe.
Okay.
So you're going to find a marketing company. You're going to Google marketing. There's a million of them within 2 miles of where we're sitting right here in Hollywood, right? You're going to interview them. So you say, how do I do it? The same way you make friendships, the same way you make business relationships. You go out, first you find people who represent themselves doing that function, and then you go and you meet them. You talk to them, you interview them. It takes a while, like any relationship, to build a rapport, to trust somebody. It's trial and error. Some people work out, some don't. It's like any business relationship. How did you find your friends who you in film school, you didn't really know them. You've met them for the first time. You made a few films together. You built a rapport together.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, and I've met these guys, right?
Yeah.
They're nice guys, but kind of pisses me off, and I'm not even in the situation, that you need to do all the heavy lifting, the producing, and they're not willing to do it. How is that fair? You need to find some new friends, Ryan.
Yeah, they're. I told them I will teach them everything I learned.
But they don't want to learn it.
I mean, that is what it feels like. But
they're not programmed for it.
But they also want to make more movies, and this is the way we can do it with the cost and how we.
They have a mental aversion to doing that because they are too focused on film. And I'm saying that's a good thing. It's a good thing that filmmakers who are artists focus on the art. Do it. Focus on the art. Don't become a business person. I'm saying to you, find a business person who does what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you still haven't gotten past that.
Well, because it's not
because you haven't found anybody, because you haven't really gone looking in the right places.
Well, I did have a meeting with another producer that someone introduced me to last week.
Yeah, the person who probably went to film school, who actually wants to make films and direct them.
No, he's made 9 movies and he's only produced. And that's it.
When you say produced, what does that mean? Did he raise the money?
Yeah, he raised the money.
Okay. Did he do the arrange the distribution?
Yeah.
Perfect. So
he should come on this podcast, honestly. He's about to make his biggest budget, a $9 million film, about to make his biggest budget movie. I could see being someone, he's like, I talked to him about the next movie. He's like, let me know if you need any help. Like, that seems like a resource that, like, I mean.
That's what I'm talking about.
I need to use
That's
this
perfect.
guy.
So you've already met somebody like that.
I met somebody.
So
yeah.
why not tap into that and develop that relationship?
I've been thinking about it a lot because I want to direct this next movie.
I mean, it's a perfect fit for what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody who understands the business, has a proven track record in it, and enjoys doing that kind of stuff and is good at it, frees you up to do the stuff that you really want to do. And it seems like you already trust him.
Well, I only met him once.
Okay,
so.
you met him once, but
yeah.
but he's got a good track record.
Yeah.
So far, he looks pretty good on paper.
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah. Now, is the chemistry going to be good? Are you going to like him? That kind of stuff is relationship building.
Yeah.
So that takes time. That's what I'm talking about, though.
Okay.
Now, how'd you meet him?
Through my wife's friend.
Like a friend of a friend said, hey, you should meet this person.
That is literally it. And then we connected on Instagram, and then we met at a bar last week.
Okay, perfect. So sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
That's what we call organic meeting. A friend of a friend says this, or you meet somebody just, coincidentally in a bar, you start chatting or an airplane or something like that.
Sure.
Okay. Now, let's say that didn't happen.
Okay.
Is there other ways that you could go? And by the way, you don't even have a relationship with him. He might say, thanks a lot, I'm not interested in working with you. So now what? Now, is it over because you didn't organically meet somebody? Could you actually go and put yourself out there and actually find someone?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm sure I could. I don't know what I would do.
Well, let me help you. Okay, that's the point of this episode. All right.
What?
So you said, so it's easier said than done. What exactly do you do? It's like, it's nice to talk about things. This is why I want to do this podcast, because I don't want to just talk about the theory. I want to talk about how you actually put the theory into practice.
Yeah.
All right. So if I was in your position and I wanted to be the artist and I want to find somebody who I totally trust on the business side.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I would not go looking in the film circles.
No.
Not a chance.
I wouldn't
okay.
either.
I'm not going to film festivals. I'm not meeting other filmmakers. I'm not speaking poorly of filmmakers, but generally they want to be the artist too.
Right.
All right. So right away their motivation is wrong. I would go into the business circles, which I'm going to explain in a second. But the thing is, you want to find somebody who doesn't want to do what you do, which is make the movies. They're not even interested in it. All right. Because as soon as you find that, then it's over, because then there's a conflict, right? You want to deal with people who are excited about the film business, which is most people, all right? All these people who are in investment banking and real estate and marketing and all this, I'm convinced that everybody dreams about the film business because it's the sexiest of all the businesses.
Yeah.
So it's going to be no problem going into other industries, high tech, medicine, anywhere where people are very capable and smart, and finding people who want to be in the film business.
But don't you feel like that outside of the investing part, that seems pretty regular standard to any business, right? The investing part. But
that's the hardest part.
I mean, of course.
You make it belittle it.
But I'm just saying, like, you have to know a little bit about the rest of the business to handle the producing side of a film.
Hold on. Let's just.
And you're saying just reach out to any.
There might be a disconnect in the way we're using our terms.
Okay.
What does a producer do? When you say producing a film, is the producer the person who's putting the financing package together?
Yes.
Okay. Can we change terms for a second?
Yeah.
This person that I'm talking about, the business person, do we want to call them the producer? Is that what we want to call them?
I mean, I think they would be a producer.
Okay, so they would be the producer.
Yeah.
With this so-called producer, would they come on set?
The size of the films that I'm making, I mean, like, I was the line producer on my movie also.
This is why I'm clarifying this, okay? The person I'm talking about is not going to be the line producer. They're not going to be on set. They're not helping make the film.
Okay.
There's going to be a separate line
just
producer.
Putting together the money.
And the distribution, the business, the marketing.
Okay, but the distribution stuff, like, you have to have some kind of knowledge to handle the distribution.
Knowledge of what?
The film business, no?
What's the film business? The film business is selling movies.
So you,
Ryan, I spent 26 years in distribution with people who go all around the world and buy and sell films as a living. How many of those people do you think have ever been on a movie set? 1% maybe, if that. 1 out of 100 maybe have actually been on a movie set. None of them went to film school.
But if you just go find some guy in the health industry and say, like, now sell this movie, how would they know even where to begin?
Because they're going to do what business people do well. All right. They're going to say, who does this movie actually cater to? Who's the core target audience? This is the distribution and marketing plan that I was talking about. Okay. Who would really want to watch this? Like, not everybody, filmmakers say everybody wants to watch this. A good marketing and distribution person says, like, who's the core target? Who's the bullseye? Mm-hmm. Like, who do we want to get this to? Let's cut a trailer that speaks to those people. Let's figure out where they exist, like on social media or organizations or associations or something. How do we get to those people to get the message to them and send them the exact right message, and then send them to where we want them to consume our product, whether it be a streaming platform, our own website or something like that. That's called marketing. All right. A good marketing person, it doesn't matter what product they're dealing with. A good marketing person, like a marketing firm, can deal with any product.
Yeah.
They just have to identify who the consumer for that product is and how to connect with that consumer. That's what marketing people do. The concept of marketing is connecting with consumers and sending them a message. So I don't care that they're in the business or not. I care that they understand what the product you're selling is and how to make the connection to the right audience.
Okay.
So actually what you just described is, to me, magic. Find somebody in like biotech or health industry or something like that who knows how to sell pharmaceuticals. In some ways, that's harder than selling a movie. I mean, that would be magic to me. Like, you can sell a generic drug to people. I mean, how do you find exactly, let's say it's diabetes, huge. How do you find the diabetics? Mm-hmm. You go and you do the research. Okay, how do you find the horror fans? How do you find the drama people who love this kind of, theme? Mm-hmm. This is what they do well. This is their job. This is what they focus on, their skills. That's what I'm talking about.
And then they just start reaching out to distribution companies?
No. You see, you're jumping to all these conclusions.
This is the part that I've not done yet. So I have literally no idea how it's going to even go.
So the point is, we can do another episode on actually how to do this, how it's done. Okay. But the point of this episode is to say that you not only don't know how to do this, is you don't even want to do this. Because you want to be a filmmaker. To do this properly is going to take you away from filmmaking, because you're just not going to have enough time to do both things and do them well.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to switch gears, you got to switch totally. Forget filmmaking. It's a thing of the past. You're now marketing. You don't want to do that. It's not who you are. It's not what you signed up for. It's not what you went to school for. You want to do it as a necessary evil so that you can do this, what you really want to do, which is filmmaking. All right. So I'm saying to you, why play games with yourself and dilute your time and everything? Just find somebody who actually does want to do that and who actually knows how to do it well. But it's like stretching the elastic band and we keep putting it back. I say, no, go here. Well, but if I go there, then, what about this? What about that? I'm saying, no, start to think differently. This is the disconnect that I'm talking about. You are the poster child for the disconnect. Yeah. You're thinking, okay, but you're a little further along because most filmmakers say, I don't even want to do any of that stuff. You're saying, okay, now I appreciate it has to get done, but I don't really want to hire anybody to do it because I don't want to pay them. And I'm saying, you're not paying them. They're going to be your partner and they're going to do something that you can't do and they're going to do it a heck of a lot better than you. But you got to start thinking differently. This is what I'm saying when people say the film business was broken. It's not broken. It was never working properly because of the way you're thinking. You're thinking, I got to do this, and this. And I'm saying, no, you don't. You got to have a team. And you're not paying the team. I mean, you could if you want, if you had the money. You're collaborating because you all have the same, your interests are all aligned.
When you direct your films, you're doing the producing, right?
Yes.
But you're not doing the line producing. That'd be insane.
No, I could. I know how to do it, but it's
directing?
No, but I wouldn't because I don't want to spread myself too thin.
Yeah, that'd be way too
I don't want to be running around doing that stuff when I run a focus on making the movie. So, but that's again business structure. So I choose what I want to do, what I have the capacity to do well, and then I hire out all the other jobs. But that's a business structure.
Yeah.
I come from the business side. All right. So I'm trained to think business, but I always had the passion for the art.
Yeah.
All right. So I backed into the art. Luckily, I got the chance to back into the art because I knew the business.
Right.
Most people start from the art side and never really back into the business side because it's too hard and they don't like to do it. That's the disconnect.
I understand.
No, that's the disconnect, all right? So all I'm saying is you got to start retraining your mind to think that this is a collaboration of two entrepreneurs who have the same aligned goals. It's a partnership. That's what it is. It's not a hire or somebody hires you that you hire them.
I just got to find this person.
Well, you already told me about one. Maybe they're the right person, maybe they're not, because chemistry is important too.
Yeah.
Okay, feels to me like the resume looks pretty good. They have the right skill set. Okay, some proven track record. But the chemistry, you got to like them, right? Because
for sure,
you're making a baby together.
Yeah.
Like a movie, but there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's going to be easy to find all the right people, but if you don't go looking, you're definitely not going to find them. They're not going to come knocking on your door. That's the important component. But you got to look in the right places. Don't keep going in the same circles of people who don't even have that skill set, which is in the film circles.
So don't teach my two partners how to do what I did.
That is correct, because they're not interested and they're not going to be good at it. You go and you go into some, I don't know, high-tech investment banking company, find somebody who's really, really good at what they do, but super bored and wants to have a little bit more fun and wants to do something entrepreneurial. And you say, I am a darn good filmmaker, but I am really lacking in my abilities to market and finance. You do that well. I can see that you've done that well in your company. You've managed your client base well. You're a good investor, whatever. You have certain skills that I don't have. You talk a certain way. You think a certain way. You do spreadsheets differently than you do. Everything you do is different than what I do. And we would be a really good team. And we can make a ton of money together by collaborating as partners. You focus on what you do well. I'll focus on what I do well. And we'll be successful together. That's the secret.
Yeah.
And the disconnect is that filmmakers don't do that. Most filmmakers never do the business part, period. So they fail miserably not because they're not good filmmakers.
Yeah.
It's because they don't understand it's a business.
Yeah.
And the ones who do understand it's a business think that they can actually do the business, and they can't because they don't have the skills and they don't like to do it. And they're spread too thin. And that's where you fall. You fall into that category. The second category is somebody who at least appreciates what has to get done, doesn't really want to do it. Okay, you kid yourself, you play games with yourself saying, oh, I'm going to do it. You don't really want to do it, but you haven't found anybody else who could do it because you've gone looking in the wrong places. You've just looked in the film circles. People say, oh, I'll go to a festival and I'll try to find a business person. Business people don't go to festivals. Filmmakers go to festivals.
Yeah.
Go to an investment banking conference.
I do not want to go to an investment banking conference.
But you know what? You start throwing around that you're a filmmaker and you're looking for some collaboration.
I mean, especially if I've had a success rate, but yeah.
No, and then you say, I have this vision, I've got these great scripts, I understand filmmaking, I understand entertainment audiences, but I need your skill set. And are you bored? You're really good at what you do, but you want to break away, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to take a shot, and you love the film business because it's super sexy, but you're not a filmmaker.
Yeah.
That's the fit. And I know you think, oh, that's impossible, that's crazy, but it's not.
No, I don't think it's impossible.
No,
I think
it's very possible. I say a good chunk of my circle of friends are basically in the real estate business. All right, some form of real estate. They're either builders, developers,
Have you got them involved in film?
I got them. They're all investors.
They're all investors.
Okay,
yeah.
but none of them produce. Okay,
Yeah.
but there are some young people, they're kids who are totally enamored with the film business, would love to do it, but their parents have kind of trained them to go into real estate because they've been successful in real estate, right? So it's a little safer, a little bit more tried and true type of thing.
Yeah.
But would they love the opportunity? Like, 28, 29 years old, 5 years out of college or whatever, really savvy in what you do, probably have an MBA, really know numbers, really know, underwriting a real estate deal, this kind of stuff. These are good, sharp kids who really are skilled, would love the opportunity. Now, would it be a big risk? Of course it would be. But all entrepreneurial ventures are big risks.
Yeah.
They don't need to know how films get made. They just need to know that a good film hopefully can connect with an audience the way a real estate deal can connect with tenants, building a building. It's the same connection in a different environment. It breaks my heart that all of my students in the various film schools that I teach in, which are big film schools, UCLA, San Diego State, okay? I'm the only one who teaches the business stuff.
Right.
Most film schools don't teach it at all. But guess what? I say this, and it breaks my heart to say what I'm about to say, but it's the truth. They don't really take interest in what I teach. They're not really interested. They take it because they need to take it, because it's a mandatory course, all right? They're not really interested in understanding how distribution deals work.
Which is so wild to me, because it's like, if you want to actually get something made on your own.
You know that, but they don't.
Yeah.
They didn't sign up for film school to learn how to negotiate a distribution deal. They signed up to learn how to use a camera, how to direct, how to write. They signed up for the artistic components. And I get it.
10 years later, after they graduate and they still don't have a job in the film business, they're going to wish that they took that class.
But that's 10 years too late. That's 10 years too late.
Yeah.
That's 10 years too late. What I'm saying is, and the film schools aren't going to ever change. They're teaching the art of filmmaking. That's what they signed up for. So often I say to the administration, I said, maybe my courses would be better taught in the business school.
Yeah.
Then I could teach, students who are interested in finance how to actually do tax credits and financial structures and everything to put a film together.
Because it would be fun to see business majors excited about producing films. Like, that would be cool.
That would be unbelievable. Now, think about that. If I said to you, hey, by the way, Ryan, you're a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
I teach in the business school, all right, at San Diego State, and I teach business students, finance and marketing majors, how to specialize in films.
I want to come to one of your classes. I'm going to network.
You want to come to every networking event, and you want to meet five to
Like
10
that,
of those people, and you want
know.
to find somebody who is going to be your right-hand person. That's the key.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the disconnect. The disconnect is that kind of stuff is being taught in the film schools. So I'm trying to change that. Not necessarily at those schools. I'm trying to change it as doing podcasts, doing this kind of stuff to explain. And every once in a while, somebody comes out of the woodwork and says to me, and usually it's not film people who do it. It's non-film people. Say to me, hey, I've always been interested in the film business because it's sexy, right? And appealing.
So you're finding these people.
I find them all the time because I'm out there, talking business of film.
Yeah.
And by the way, I call it the business of film. And I often say the film business, but it's in classes, I introduce it as the business of film because I want to put the word business before film. In my classes, I want them to say the business of film as opposed to the film business, because the word film will always come before business, and I want to prioritize the business. Now, I recognize that I'm barking up the wrong tree, because they're not there for that. They're there for the film part. So I know that. And I ease off, and I don't go as hard at them as I'm going at you. And I say it's a shame, because if you knew what I knew, exactly what you just said a minute ago, like 10 years out, I wish I would have paid more attention in this guy's class. But they don't, because it takes 10 years to figure that out. You know, luckily at UCLA, I teach in the extension program, and a lot of people come back. It's, you know, continuing ed, and they say, okay, I'm 10 years out. Now I need to learn this stuff.
I think if the course existed, or maybe it did, and I was to say, like, I feel like I would take the class, but I could be completely wrong. You know, I have no idea.
But I teach it. I teach it down the street at UCLA, and you're not in the class. I didn't see you signed up for it.
Well, no. I meant when I was in college.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
You don't think I would have?
No.
That's probably right.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't, because you're not mentally at that point in your life. Your mindset is, I need to learn the art and the craft of filmmaking, not the business side.
Yeah.
You just don't appreciate. I didn't appreciate it. Like, as I said, I got lucky because my dad said to me, you should go get a business degree. And I'm thinking, like, does that make sense that I want to be a filmmaker? Why would I not go to film school?
Yeah, I mean, you were lucky to get that advice, though.
I was super lucky to get that advice. You know, and I tell this story all the time, and I thank my dad a lot. I mean, my dad's not alive anymore, but I mean, I thanked him a lot. It's like, you set me down the right track, and I had no clue about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was completely illogical at the time for me that I would go and get a law degree, wanting to be a filmmaker.
Right.
But then it all connected. Like you said, 10 years down the road, then you see how it all connects. So that's why I call it the great disconnect, because you can't make that connection at that point. So I'm just trying to make the connection. I'm just artificially saying, here's the connection. You're not going to know it for 10 years, but here's the connection. Now, there's not a chance, if I would have said to you 10 years ago, like when you're going to film school, don't go to film school, go to business school. You would have said, there's not a chance I'm going to film school.
That's correct. Okay. That part wouldn't have happened. Yeah. But the course in film school, I think I may, you know.
But it's one course, and you wouldn't be. And listen, half the students don't even come to the course. They watch recorded lectures and stuff like that. It's not interesting material. Look, I know. I'm not even going to say I'm guessing. I know how important this stuff is. Like, I know from experience how important this is. This is the game changer for them.
Yeah.
But they don't know. So I know that they don't know. And I'm not going to force feed it. I'm going to present it.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of them will, you know, digest some of it.
Yeah.
Most won't, but it's okay. But at some point I'm going to have to start teaching in the business school.
I mean, I think that'd be so great.
Yeah, because these are students who would eat up the idea of learning about finance and distribution.
And then the film students would know where to go.
Correct. Then they could take a course out of, you know, because so you're allowed to do like cross-divisional courses once, you know, a couple of electives. Yeah. So I do get quite a few business school students in my business aspects class.
Oh, good.
Which is good. But, you know, they're one course out of because they're curious about the film business.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Anyways, just to wrap this up, that is the disconnect, Ryan. I love the fact that you are who you are, because you represent who everybody is out there, all the filmmakers. I mean, you're sort of a little more progressed because you're 10 years out or whatever. I don't know exactly your exact age, but you are out there. You've just made a feature. You know what it is to produce. You know what it is to raise money. You know what it is to do all the business functions. Not all of them, because you haven't done distribution yet. No. So that's when we'll have a really good conversation.
Yeah.
All right. But at least you've tried it.
Yeah.
But you've also admitted to me that you would prefer not to do it. You'd rather do the directing, and you want your buddies now to do the producing, and you know darn well they're not going to do it. So there's the disconnect. They're just not going to do it because they don't want to do it, and they wouldn't even be good at it. And they're good guys. I've met them. They're good guys.
They're good guys.
They're good, honest, hardworking guys. They're just not interested in that.
Right.
And they probably don't have the skill set for it. That doesn't makes them great filmmakers. It just makes them bad business people. Not bad, but they're not going to do what needs to get done. So you need somebody on your team. You need somebody on your side. If you can get the guy you just told me about, that would be great. And if not, you need to go shopping around. I mean, and I'm not saying you should get a student, but you can get somebody who's 10 years out in business, who really savvy on I would say go for the marketing side. Look at marketing firms, look at people in marketing departments of companies that you respect. I would say try to go mid-range or smaller entrepreneurial stuff, because the big companies, they're, you know, in a big company, you're just one tiny cog in a big wheel. So you want somebody who's a little more entrepreneurial, gotten their hands dirtier a little bit in a lot of different things, could manage an entrepreneurial environment where you have to do everything, as you know. You got to do a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. If you're that person, email Jeff.
Okay, on that note, I always, this is a great episode because Ryan represents you, like the filmmakers. And this discussion we had, probably you're going to rejig in your mind many, many times over. So when you do that, if you do have questions or you want, to express something, I love the input. Please email me at jdeverett@deverettmedia.com. and I will address as many as I can. And from wherever you're watching, push subscribe.